And I'd like for all of y'all to give a great Abilene welcome to Governor Rick Perry.
Mayor, thank you very much for your kind remarks. And I know I talked to Mom before I pulled in here, and she said you were in the middle of giving your state of the city report, and I have an idea that it was pretty positive.
We think so.
We all have our challenges living in these times today, but Abilene, Texas is probably pretty reflective of this state. A great opportunity of growth in the future, and some very, very capable and dynamic people that are going to be leading this city forward as we look for the same thing out of this state. And it's pretty impressive to see the work that's being done at this facility, and you know, when you get educators and government leaders and researchers and investors to partner in this type of a project, it brings that critical mass to research and to mass education and to development that we're looking for in this state. And I'm really proud to live in a state that invests its resources in places like this. You know, using the emerging technology dollars, the Cancer Prevention Research Institute of Texas that we were created back a couple of years ago with a general obligation bond outlay, pursuing ideas that will find the cure for a lot of diseases and maladies that affect all of us, both in private and in very public ways, not to mention the jobs and the economic development that will come from the expansion of programs like this. You know, all across the state there are centers of excellence like this that are attracting the best and the brightest. Doc, you, of course, working at Texas Tech in Lubbock, you know what's going on in that part of the state as well. And I think we have created an unmatched environment of innovation in this state. And it's people like you all who have devoted your lives to seeing these types of programs go forward. You know, fact is, the state of Texas is better off than almost any other state, and it's thanks to the years of discipline and conservative leadership that we've had at every level, not just at the state level, but all the way down through our counties and our cities. And you know, in just a few short weeks, Texas Republicans are going to have the opportunity to select their candidate for governor and send a message to the rest of America in the process, kind of like what Massachusetts did a week ago. And you know, the question is going to be: are Texans going to cast their vote for the Washington establishment with its culture of bailouts and stimulus dollars and spending and skyrocketing debts? Or are they going to put their faith in leadership whose fiscal conservatism has positioned our state for comparative success in these very tough times, and frankly, leadership that's willing to tell Washington, D.C. no. You know, like I think a lot of folks all across the big country, I'm tired of the bull in the china shop approach that this administration has taken, attempting to overturn our state's rights, undermining individual liberties, ignoring input from anybody outside of the Beltway. You know, it seems that Washington has kind of thrown out the idea of having a national dialogue in favor of a kind of one-way conversation where they're doing all the talking and they expect us to do all the listening and doing. It seems like every other day Texas gets another signal from D.C. Indicating their desire to reverse the progress that we made here in the state, overriding our constitutional rights, for that matter. Whether they're contemplating laws and regulations that will cripple our energy industry, kill jobs in that industry, or hatching healthcare ideas that would diminish the care and cost Texans hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, frankly, right here just in the state of Texas. Washington just seems to be careening out of control. But here in Texas, we're working hard to resist that Washington intrusiveness by telling the truth about their misinformed initiatives. We've been declining to participate in some rather thinly veiled attempts, for instance, of them to purchase control of our public schools. And I told somebody, I said, frankly, pennies on the dollar. That race to the top that we talked about this last week, a good example of it, their goal was to take over the education system in the state of Texas in exchange for as little as $75 per student. And I might add, what we got for the privilege was to spend billions of our tax dollars in exchange for those few pennies from Washington. And it appears that our refusal to join what I refer to as kind of the race to the middle has gotten Washington's attention. So they're starting Plan B, which doesn't surprise me, but it frustrates me. It kind of amazes me that this administration won't release $1.7 billion of funds that our state needs to help coastal communities that were impacted by Hurricane Ike. But they're willing to dangle $1.4 billion directly under the noses of our school districts to try to get them to do what our State Board of Education and our Texas legislature has historically done. And this end around of our system, for me, kind of marks a new low of Washington's ongoing campaign of interfering in state and local affairs. And as usual, folks in Washington they're spending money they don't have on solutions that haven't been thought through for problems that they don't understand in an attempt to make people more dependent upon them. And it'd be pretty funny if it didn't pose such a serious threat. And as Washington continues to flail, we're going to stay real focused in this state on sustaining an economy that leads the nation, defending the entrepreneurial spirit that we see in cities like Abilene, that reward risk-taking and innovation. And look, as I said earlier in my remarks, and Mary, you certainly know this, we haven't been immune from this global economic crisis because there's far too many Texans and Texas families dealing with the challenges and uncertainty of joblessness. With that said, I was really encouraged by a very renowned Texas economist, M. Ray Perryman, who made the statement this last month that Texas was the last into the recession and will be the first out. And he pointed to job growth in 3 of the last 6 months in Texas, and our historic position of being 2 percentage points below the national average on unemployment. But the fact is, we're not going to be satisfied till every Texan who wants a job has a job. And working in their favor is the climate that we built here in Texas, with our emphasis on low taxes, on fair and predictable regulations, and entrepreneurs know that they can succeed on their own merits here without being taxed, regulated, litigated, out of existence. They also know that our workforce is getting stronger every day because we've improved the quality of our public schools, emphasized accountability.